Good morning, everyone. I know that you who are here this morning, checking in on the live stream, you have been watching us just zooming around and getting ready, making this stage ready. Warm welcome to you. This is the sneak preview for the online onlys for the Women in Tech Sweden conference. I'm Elin Eriksson, and this is Åsa Johansen.
Good morning, everybody, and warm welcome. I can't believe that we're here again. You know, all the preparations we've been doing, all the emails we've been sending out to you, to our partners. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for being online with us this morning.
Yeah, I mean, it's a year since we were here the last time with Sweet 2024, which was great. And with Sweet 2025, it's going to be great again, hopefully.
It's going to be amazing.
I mean, that's the feeling anyway.
It is.
Let's do a short presentation of the two of us. So I'm going to introduce to you. This is Åsa Johansen. She is the director of Women in Tech Sweden. My ride or die, the person that is just keeping it all together, especially me, but handling all the partners, making sure that everyone has their agreement signed, the one who walks the floor for the last thing that happens the night before the conference, making sure that everyone is in their boundaries and everything is polished and looks nice. And you're also an amazing person, working with communications and tech for pretty much your entire life. That's Åsa Johansen.
And how do you follow up on that? You tell me what my ride and die is, and that is Elin Eriksson, our creative director at Women in Tech. Elin has been the one that's been aboard for most of the time. We've been around for 12 years, and you've been around at Women in Tech for 11 of those. It's something that I really learned from you throughout the years, what it is to be a partner, because you came from the partner side, from Bonnier News and from Bonnier Group. And so you always having the partner perspective, and that's something that really colored off on me. So from that perspective, I always wanted to make sure that Women in Tech is something that we know that are funded by our partners. So we have to make sure that our partners feel that they are meeting you, our members, in the right way. But Elin is also the creative director, the one that makes us look good, choosing the colors of the T-shirts, making sure that all the colors and the cool fonts and everything is working. But also, you are the program director for this event. And I know that I always stress you that I want you to have the theme ready, and I want you to have the speakers ready as soon as possible so we can start communicate. But then all of a sudden we have like 2,500 persons signed up even without knowing what's going to be on the agenda. How is that even possible? What a trust they have in you and what you will put on our stage.
Oh yes, trust in me, but mostly, of course, in the conference and in the Women in Tech Sweden community, because I think that is something that is quite unique with this conference. So we don't do billboards on town, we don't do ads in every digital paper. We just have the community, and they know that this is going to be a day where they contribute, and where they know that the people they meet are going to be interesting and forward and curious in so many ways. And also, this is not a conference where we hire the already big stars that need to have like 1 million crowns in a fee to stand on a stage. This is a stage where a lot of people get their breakthrough. This is a stage where a lot of people can actually dare to say yes for the first time, to give their message to a very supportive crowd and very curious crowd. So yeah, it is something to be proud about. And the theme for this year
I was going to ask you, please tell us about the theme, Space to Play.
Space to Play.
How did you end up with that?
I think it has sort of been popping up from different angles throughout the year. Of course, space as in the space, the universe. I think we have the starry sky behind us, yeah. So that's one thing. I mean, space exploration and all of the things that has happened the last years with Swedish astronauts and also Swedish analog astronauts, and like there is a sort of boom for space research and space exploration and the interest for it right now. But this space is also how you create a space, an area to thrive in, to be in, to create in. And that space can also be a space where you play. Because playfulness can be a way to really unlock your creativity.
Definitely, and we need that in these times, I think, to be able, because tech is always, we're talking about that as the salvation or solution to the future problems and the way that we work with society. And it feels like creativity and the space to have creativity in our work days are really more needed than ever.
Yeah, and space is, space to play is also allowing yourself to sort of just lower the bar and say that I'm going to try this. I might not have done this before, but I'm going to try it and I'm going to play around with it. And all of a sudden, you might just do something that you never thought you were able to do. So just to give yourself that permission to slip, to play. And we're going to do a lot of sessions today about space and play and the space to play. And what's important for you who is online is, of course, also to check out the focus sessions.
Yeah.
Because you can be in this stream for the full day, and you can have a lot of nice talks, but you can also specifically pick the topic that you are interested in. So check out the focus session part of the section of the program section, and there you will be able to choose between 22 different focus sessions, and they will be even more techy, diving really deep into their topics.
I was just getting butterflies because I keep hearing the buzz in the background because people are getting into Waterfront. Today we will welcome approximately 3,000 people here. I know that there was a big buzz to get the tickets, but here we are online giving you what we can give you on this morning's sofa as well. I would like to talk a little bit about our members, because today we are 29,750 members. That is an astronomic, speaking of space, number for us. When you and I started out in 2019 doing this together, we were approximately 2,000 members.
Yeah.
And it's rising. We get more members every day. And I think that it shows that numbers matters. And for us, it's so important that we have approximately 30,000 voices that wants to be heard and that we really want to listen to.
Yeah.
But I really wanted to hear about, now we are 29,700. I think it's a bit of an odd number, don't you say?
Wouldn't it be nice if we could just make it really nice and neat in 30,000?
How about, everybody, this is a challenge for you today. If you're not a member of Women in Tech today, get on board. Be a member of Women in Tech and make sure that we hit 30,000 members of today. Is that a deal? Fantastic.
I'm already in.
Fantastic. I'm
promise.
hoping so. You know, I would like to welcome a guest up on the sofa, someone that can talk about our members.
Ooh.
Would you mind? Please welcome Amalia.
And this is Amalia Berglöf.
Good morning.
Ladies and lady
Amalia.
friends.
How are you?
I'm really. It's such a buzz out there,
Yeah,
and
no, I
like
can
my
hear it.
my social media is blowing up right now. Also, people online like DMing and talking about this interview stage. So it's. I've already cried twice this morning, not out of stress, but out of happiness.
I was walking down there, and all the volunteers. We have approximately 100 volunteers here today. They have all wearing these yellow shirts, and they are everywhere taking care of our guests.
Yeah.
But I wanted to talk about our members, Amalia, because we welcomed you into the Women Tech team to be our member community ambassador. I keep calling it a queen because you are. You are a member ambassador queen, the community. Because as I said, in 2019 we were about approximately 2,000, and we are approaching 30,000, right? And we need that to be not just a member database. We need to be a community. And we asked you to ask our members what they thought that they wanted out of the community. What did they respond?
The first thing, which is like hard answer to get, but also a fun answer to get, was that we need more. We need more meetups. We need more opportunities for mentorship. Also more like help to understand how to navigate this tech industry overall, which is like it's like a buffet, a smörgåsbord, if you're going to call it that, in terms of what we can do. So everything, basically, more out of everything, and also like us actually stepping up into broadening ourselves into what we do. Like as you usually say, like we're not just organizing this event, we're actually making opportunities and making space for all women in tech in Sweden today.
Fantastic, fantastic. So what we got out of that is you want more to do with what we are doing to meet our partners more. And we have done a lot of meetups this year, and I know that's been very, very successful as well. Speaking of successful, I would like to invite another person up to stage that I think is actually part of our success. Please welcome Linda. Good morning.
Linda Tierney.
Good morning, Linda Tierney.
Yes.
Speaking of success and volunteers,
Yeah.
you started out in this team almost 3 years ago as a volunteer. You came back from working abroad.
Yes.
You and Elin were used to work together at Bonnier previously.
Yeah.
But tell us a little about your journey into Women in Tech.
Yes. So it started 2014 when I worked with Elin, and after that I moved abroad. But I followed sort of Elin and Women in Tech's journey across the pond. And then when I decided to move back to Sweden, I reached out and asked if I could help with doing anything really, because I felt like I needed to come back into sort of the industry here in Sweden, the network, and feeling like something that while I was looking for jobs and stuff like that, you could do something with a purpose and being around wonderful people and contribute. So yeah. And after those 2 years, then you asked me to go on full time with Women in Tech. So that's what I do now, which I love, and I love working with these guys. So yeah, super grateful.
And it was the best move ever.
Best move ever.
Came back, and also that you started working with us.
Yes.
And just to sort of set the scene, so Women in Tech is a non-profit organization. Åsa and Linda, you are full-time consultants.
Yes.
For Women in Tech Sweden.
Yes.
I'm a part-time consultant so far, and so is Amalia. And pretty new as a freelancer as well.
Yeah. It's a tough path to navigate to go there, but at the same time, like, having you as a support has meant a lot. And also, like, it's been really interesting going about today, talking to people already, like, okay, but I also want to do that step. So also in terms of providing actual, like, role models, we also do that, and I think that's amazing.
Definitely.
And let us just tell us a bit about what you do full-time for Women in Tech.
Yes. So I got many hats. My title is officially Marketing, Comms and Systems. So I do, if we're doing any sort of launches, if we do the newsletters, the social media, that sort of thing, I have a team of volunteers who help me coordinate that, and then all the systems that we use with which is the website and other things. I am the bridge between the external agencies who help us with that. Again, we need a lot of help because it's only us, and then we got many great volunteers. So I'm managing the teams with the volunteers as well. So.
And I got a comment the other day saying, all of a sudden you started doing so much things within the Women in Tech community. And I was like, no, we just have a person to tell you what we are doing. Yeah. All of a sudden we have a team, as you said, of volunteers that helps us do that. And all of a sudden we can talk about what we're doing. Yeah. And you are so appreciated. And thank you so much for joining us at Women in Tech. Oh. And Amalia as well. I mean, I think we four as a team will be working closer and closer. The community, and you talking about what we do, me and Elin talking about Women in Tech on our own stages and other stages to get the message through. What's next, Elin? Do we have anything online, or?
You know what, I wanted to talk a bit about the Women in Tech, the State of Women in Tech survey, and we might as well do that while we have Linda and Amalia staying.
Good idea.
Because we have yearly done a survey to our members, speaking of really asking people what they want and what's the state right now. And this year we got more answers than ever, so just on top of 3,000 answers to this survey. Yeah. So we ask, what's up at work? How do you feel? Do you love the business or not? What is it you like about the business if you do? Are you thinking about leaving, or are you thinking about staying? And an important number that we have been following for quite a few years is if people are considering to leave the industry, which has been like an alarming number for many years, and not just in Sweden, it's really all over. It has been at a steady 40% for many years, but it dropped last year in our member database, in our member base from 40 to 20, roughly 20. And it remains at 20. And that, I think that is really interesting and something to highlight. And do you have any comment on that?
Oh, everything and nothing at all at once. No, but what I think, at least like listening to it as a like community lead, and like we also, that puts a kind of a number on us, like what can we do in terms of lowering that number, so like nobody should leave the industry. That's what we want, right? But also like how can we challenge our partners, and how can we also give the tools to our members to challenge not only our partners but also every other company out there to be like, okay, but what can we do in order to inspire people to stay? Because we can't just attract, we also have to have people remaining in the industry, and that's what we do. So that's it's a goal, right?
Yeah, sure is.
Definitely.
And speaking about tools to have them stay, what was highlighted in this survey, we asked, who do you think is responsible for creating a better, diverse tech industry? Let me see if I can remember this. Is it politicians? Is it academia? Is it you as a person, or is it the businesses?
You nailed it.
Yeah.
Perfect. And the answer was?
The business. It's actually 70% that thought that the responsibility to make an equal industry is within the business. And what's making it even more interesting, because we added a question this year, that question itself, but then we also talked about the DEI activities that they think that their companies are doing. And most of our members think that there are activities going on, but not good enough or not enough. So I think that was one of the reasons, and one base that we were starting our hackathon in this fall. We called it a DEI hackathon, but that resulted in a tool. That because we know that a lot of people want to work with these questions, but they really don't know how to start. So that tool, now we call it a DEI compass. It has 11 areas to be able to measure where you are. And then you get a scale on where you are. And that scale is not meant to say if you're good or bad, but it's to say where you are. So you can know where your starting point is and know where to go. And I think that is the first time that we actually are launching a tool, speaking of not just being an event organizer and a social actor, to make sure that we can help our partners and our members to help our partners to actually evolve and educate themselves in these areas. So I'm really looking forward to having our partners use this tool to see where we are in the industry, where are our partners when it comes to this, and how can we help? What can we do in the next step?
Yeah. And if someone is curious about the DEI Compass, where could it be found?
On our website, womenintech.se/DEI compass.
Oh, it's that easy.
Yeah, it's that easy.
Of course it is.
Yes, fantastic.
So you could take a quick check and see what you can do there, and then you can of course contact us again. It's a starting point right now. So it's basically for our partners and also as a way to start helping the partners. But of course, if anyone else wants to reach out, we are happy to help the industry, to say the least.
Yeah. Definitely.
Let's see what's happening in the outskirts of the stage. I think we actually have 2 new guests coming up.
And I think that I need to go and check how everything's going on the floor out there.
Speaking of being floor manager as well as director.
Director and floor manager. I was carrying stuff until last night.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody, for joining. I will leave you with these beautiful ladies. And I will make sure you get some water up here as well. I think you need that.
Perfect.
It's very dry.
So thank you,
Let's
Åsa.
have a blast.
Yeah. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Amalia. And then I would like to welcome up Maria and Steph. Yeah. Thank you. And this is not any Steph. This is Stephanie Darville.
Hello.
Take a seat. And this is Maria Rincon.
Hello.
Take a seat.
Hello, how are you feeling?
Sort of shy now. You're the moderators. I'm just warming them up a bit online. So please introduce yourselves. Let's start over here.
Yes, I am Stephanie Darville. I'm going to be the main stage moderator for today, and this is my second time being the main stage moderator. And aside from doing this job, I work with a lot of other events as a host and also with startups.
Yay!
Yes, oh, and I'm from the UK, but live in Malmö.
Yeah. And you're used to this stage because this is your third time on the
This is my
stage.
third time on the stage, yes, indeed.
Yeah. So you're here just, oh, wow, now I got a really nice glass of water.
That's a very nice glass.
And the two of you, you're not going to meet that much more on a stage today because you will pretty much just be switching on and off, doing this, just giving the baton of this stage. So this, Maria, please introduce yourself.
Hello everyone, my name is Maria Rincon. I'm the interview stage host for this year and very excited to be here. I'm Colombian Chinese, was raised in Canada, and I'm a former television host. First year at Women in Tech, very excited that you brought me on board.
Yes.
And you're also living in Malmö, so we're
Another Malmö
representing Malmö today.
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes we hear that we're too Stockholm-centric, but we're really trying to break through on that.
This year we're
So-
diversifying that,
So
right?
conquering the south of Sweden. Maria, your first time at Women in Tech, at Women in Tech Sweden.
Yeah.
What made you say yes to this crazy assignment to be the interview stage host?
I feel like I'm a Women in Tech ally, so I felt like myself, my background is not in technology, my background is in communication. But to be able to bring these stories to life and communicate with these incredible women and be inspired was a hell yes for me when Stephanie asked me to be the interview stage host.
Your background is so diverse in itself. Could you just give us a bit more about all these places where you have lived and worked and moved in between?
Definitely. So I was born in Colombia, and then I worked in television in Canada and China, then used my communication skills for the good. So went to the United Nations, became a communications consultant, and then I think the startup scene in Sweden, specifically in Malmö, really inspired me to start my own business. So now I've founded a public speaking coaching business.
How does that go?
It's going really well. I actually work with a lot of brilliant introverts. So they're very technical people,
Lovely.
data analysts, tech analysts, and helping bring their communication and presentations to life.
And if you could tell like a few pointers for the people that feel like, yeah, that could be me. what would you say to just anyone who is sort of introverted and they know they have a great message,
Yeah.
but how should I come across?
I would say the first thing is to take a deep breath. So we can do one together.
Oh, yeah.
Inhale in and exhale it out. Feels good, right?
Always.
Always.
I felt like we all needed that. We've
all
been
needed
running
that.
around all morning, and then we just had a really nice moment just when we were waiting side of stage, and just had a little squeeze of
Yeah.
like it's happening.
Perfect.
So
Yeah, and that's
you.
the first thing.
That's the
And then
first
the
thing.
second thing is to focus on your message. So instead of focusing too much on the spotlight being on us, which it is, to kind of turn that out and be, hey, what's the message that I can give to my audience? What's the value that I can provide? And just really focusing on that one thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of agree on that. I work a bit with a couple of speakers myself, and one of the really good things I hear one of them say is that when they are doing moderator work, they say to themselves, "It's not about you. It's not about you. It's not about you. It's about making the others shine." But when they are the keynote speaker, they have to sort of pump themselves up, and they say, "It's the message. It's the message. It's the message."
Exactly.
So it really very much is about the mindset. Thank you for sharing. And Stephanie Darville. I mean, we were sort of touching upon the Malmö startup scene.
yeah,
And that is
that's
very
true.
much your scene as well. Could you tell us a bit more?
Yeah, so I actually, when I first came to Sweden, I lived in Stockholm for 5 years. And that's when I entered the startup scene by having my own startup. And then, not for any direct reason that me and my partner decided to move to Malmö, we just wanted something new. But I was really surprised by how broad and big the startup scene is there. I think there's so much innovation. Of course, you've got Copenhagen around the corner, and the Danish startup scene, or specifically Copenhagen startup scene, is very big as well. But I think what struck me most is everyone's so open to share, and I think that's so important, that you, in the startup scene, you can't do everything, and it's very stressful a lot of the time. And so actually finding the ways that you can like offer advice or collaborate and not see each other as competitors but allies, the better. And I've just been raised up so much by the Malmö startup scene that I'm very happy to be part of it.
And you had your own startup.
I did. And that was, the first time I spoke here was when I still had my startup. It was in EdTech, and we ran for 3 years. And then, ironically, when I came on stage, I was speaking about hustle culture and trying to go against that. And then when I came back last year, I kind of stood on stage, and I was quite nervous before saying it. I think you knew that we unfortunately had to bankrupt the startup, which is a very common thing that happens to startups, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I felt like not many people spoke out about it, so I was quite nervous to talk about it. But again, if you're going to bring something up and feel nervous about it, this is the right audience to do so.
It sure is. And the two of you are hosting 2 separate stages, still on the same very floor.
Yes.
But I would say that if you want to listen more to like startups happening, and specifically in femtech and life science, you should really listen into the session that is around the lunch hour. Could you just give us a few hints on that, Maria?
Sure. So it's a very exciting segment. It's going to be around your lunchtime, so grab a bite, but then definitely come back and grab your seats. We're going to be talking about everything from menopause to sex tech and AI, and how can we empower more women in femtech.
And the interview stage, which of course Stephanie and I have been sort of trying to put those pieces of the puzzle together, is a way to make sure that we get even more voices.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's one stage here, and it's a speed run of a conference on this stage. Short sections.
Yes.
We want people to feel even more curious after they've listened to something. So the interview stage is very much just making sure that we give even more role models, even more inspiration, even more stories, and that people can network as well. And Stephanie, for the main stage, I mean, we know the theme, space to play. Do you think we could sort of live up to that?
I really do think we are, especially yesterday we got to see the rehearsals of a lot of the speakers, and I got goosebumps just watching their rehearsals, so I know they're going to level up today. But we have 3 parts to it. So we have the playground, looking at, what playground are we operating within, and what tools do we have available to us. Then we go into the obstacle course, so looking at what obstacles are provided in our path as people and women in tech. And then we go up into the orbit for the last section, where we're going to hear from 2 real astronauts. One of them was at the International Space Station last year. So I'm very, very curious, because that's a very big, that's innovation in itself. And I'm really curious to hear from both of the astronauts, their experiences with space.
So the analog astronaut and the space astronaut are going to be on stage pretty much at the same time.
Exactly.
It's going to be exciting. And also we are sprinkling in community highlights and member lightning talks and keynotes and panels. So it's not going to be one dull moment on this stage.
Not at all.
And our wonderful, magnificent technicians will never take a break. They have Team A, Team B, and Team C running this conference to make sure that every camera is staffed at every point in time.
Yeah.
So Stephanie and Maria, thank you for just doing this little quick highlights.
Thank you.
Our pleasure.
I'm sure we are pretty much going to go just do our preps.
Yes.
Do the breathing.
Go do some breathing, some power poses backstage.
Yes,
and
exactly.
Yeah, we'll see you very soon.
And see you very, very soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.